Alrighty. So can you hear me? Just give me a nod if you can hear me. All good. All right. So we're going to start off by going into the benefits or problems of immigration. I am one who believes that legal immigration is an excellent thing. And so I have 3 points I'm going to go over here. The first is the advantages of legal immigration. And there are multiple advantages, including the creation of jobs, tax revenue, and proof of greatness. When legal immigration occurs, it is proof that a country is truly great because there are other nations who want to go to that nation. There are people who prove that that nation is truly the greatest nation. So this leads us to the second point I have here, which is the reason for illegal immigration. If someone could choose to legally immigrate, why would they choose illegal immigration? And the answer is because our legal immigration process is broken. We have arbitrary quotas set by the federal government that prevent people from actually being able to legally immigrate. We have tremendous backlog and red tape leading to 450,000 different court cases of people going through the immigration process. It is a broken process, which has been termed impossible. At the earliest, it takes 14 years for someone to be able to legally immigrate to America. This is impossible. So this leads to the solution that I must have. The third point is the solution. In order to help the immigration process work, we need to make legal immigration make sense. People are choosing illegal immigration because the legal immigration process doesn't work. So what we need to do is remove the arbitrary quotas, remove the red tape, still require a disease check and security check, but allow for the overall process to make sense so that legal immigration will replace illegal immigration. By doing this, by creating a pathway to citizenship, we will allow legal immigration to replace illegal immigration, which, as I think we can all agree, would be excellent.
All right, so let me begin just by stating the topic: undocumented immigrants in the U.S. with no criminal record should be given a path to citizenship. Now, that question, if you think about it, it kind of contradicts itself because it's pretty much saying undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a crime, but they're committing a crime by coming into the U.S. illegally. Yes, the immigration system may be broken. We do need to fix that, but that doesn't give people the right to come here and break the law. We are a nation of immigrants, as stated by multiple people, but we're also a nation of laws, and people need to respect those laws. If they don't respect those laws, then they shouldn't be coming to the country at all. They're wasting our tax. We're wasting our tax dollars by taking our welfare. They're taking the jobs of American citizens. And when somebody brings up that, oh, illegal immigrants, they're taking the jobs that nobody wants. If you really want a job, you'll take what you can get. But what the point I'm trying to say is, if just because something doesn't work or something's broken, does that give it a right for you to still break the law? That's the whole point of illegal immigration. They're coming here illegally. There's thousands and millions of people who come here illegally. It's not exactly that much of a broken process. My family has done it. They did it the legal way. So why can't people just do it legally? That's really all I got right now.
All right, so there were several points you brought up there. First, you mentioned that the question contradicts itself because those who have come illegally have, by definition, committed a crime. However, my response to that would be, if the law itself is unjust or is impossible to follow, then we cannot blame someone for not following an impossible law. Now, you stated that it is possible that thousands of people do come legally, so why can't others do the same? Now, this is true. There are people who do come in legally. However, as I pointed out in my first speech, which is that we have quotas, arbitrary quotas established by the federal government that prevent people who want to come here from being able to come here. This is not the way it should be. We should allow the market to determine where the jobs are. If there are jobs, people will come for the jobs. If there are not jobs, people will not come for the jobs. This should not be a standard set by the federal government. This is something that should be determined by the market. Your overall point is simply that people must respect the laws. I agree. People should respect the laws. But the problem that we have right now is that we have created a system that incentivizes people to break the laws. So So I'm going to turn your argument back on itself. If we really want people to respect the laws, we need to give them good options for the laws to work. When we have arbitrary quotas, when we have 450,000 cases of backlog from people trying to go through the immigration system, but they can't, when the system has been described as impossible, legal immigration is no longer an option. So in order to solve that problem, we need to get rid of those quotas. We need to allow for people to make a better life for themselves, and in so doing, help the country. The Brookings Institute has estimated that there are $3 trillion in the shadow economy from undocumented immigrants. If we were to create a path to citizenship for all migrants so that they would follow legal immigration, we could have a significant tax.
Okay, so you want to bring up. So I'm glad I actually brought up the point of money. Sorry about the noise of my dogs and all that stuff. They're really annoying. But I'm glad that you brought in the point of money, because we actually spend over $100 billion on illegal immigration. If we built the proposed wall that Donald Trump has proposed, which will be built, it would only cost $10 billion. That saves us $90 billion in illegal immigration. And by the way, Donald Trump has already cut the illegal immigration to 70%. That's just not by building the wall. And it'll encourage people to not break the law and come here legally. The system may be broke. And plus, I also want to mention the murders that are caused by illegal immigration. We don't know who these people are. We don't know who's coming into our country. So just by them telling a story, we should just give them a path to citizenship? I don't think so. And either way, whether the system is broken or not, that's up. It may be broken, like I said, it may be broken or not, but they still need to respect the law. Even if they still need to respect the law. God, I wish I had an example. I have 43 seconds. What else can I say? All right, that's all I got.
All right, so you stated that we're spending $100 billion on illegal immigrants. This is total. This is not yearly. This is total. And this is also something that it would be offset by the amount that they would contribute to the economy if we were to be able to tax them. The reason we can't tax them right now is because we don't have any documentation on them. If we wanted to solve that issue, the solution is to make legal immigration make sense. We can't do that as long as the legal immigration process isn't possible for them. So if we want to solve your issue, we got to take the affirmative stance on this. Now, you also pointed out that there are murders by illegals. Yes, there are murders contributed by anyone, whether native-born or documented or undocumented immigrants. However, illegal and overall migrants commit crime at a far lower rate than natural-born citizens. 2 studies from earlier this year, one by the Cato Institute, for instance, pointed out that it is nearly a 3-to-1 difference in the rate of crime committed by those who are migrants versus those who are native-born citizens. These are people who actually want to contribute to society and actually do so at a much lower rate of crime. They are better citizens than those who are natural-born citizens. We should be incentivizing them to come here, not incentivizing them to illegally immigrate. If we want to solve for illegal immigration, we need to make legal immigration make sense.
All right, so we want to incentivize them to come here legally. Well, it's simple. I mean, again, the system may be broken, but that doesn't give them the right to break the law. We teach our children every day to follow the law and respect the rules. Just by coming here legally, it doesn't make sense. And actually, another point I want to bring out. Oh my God, those dogs. Another point I want to bring out is that most parents, what they'll do is they'll come here illegally. They'll come through the border and they'll have a child, so that child can be a legal citizen. So let me see what else I got. And you said that about the documentation, on how we don't have any documentation on these illegal immigrants. If they came here legally, we would have documentation. What I'm trying to say with the whole point of undocumented immigrants should not be given a path to citizenship, because it's just giving them the easy way. It's pretty much telling anybody, oh, hey, you can come here. You don't need to follow the laws. You don't need to worry about any of the rules or regulations. You can just come and you'll be granted citizenship. That's not how the law works. You got to go through the process. You got to do everything. If you don't have the money to pay to come for a citizen, wait till you get the money. If you don't have the energy to fill out all the reports and do all the tests, then you truly don't want to come here. If you truly do want to contribute to the American society of this country, you will follow the laws and you will follow the rules and laws. If you don't follow any of the rules, any of the laws, then you're just wasting, then you're just sucking up our benefits and wasting them.
I think it's interesting. I think both of us want the same thing. We both want legal immigration. The difference is your solution to make legal immigration happen is to punish illegal immigrants. However, as we've seen over the last several decades, this doesn't work. We have 11 million illegal immigrants. Your solution is not working. When we enforce it, we may stop new people from coming in, but we don't do anything about the ones who are here, and we can't find them. Therefore, the solution should be to make it make sense. We need to be able to make it so our legal immigration process is possible. You actually agreed several times in each of your points that the legal immigration system may be broken. Well, it is. It is broken. It is impossible for the majority of people to follow. But if we made it make sense, if we made it something that was possible, we would see illegal immigration cease. That has to be the solution here. Instead of trying to punish people, we need to focus on solutions. Now, the final thing I want to say is your point is that just because our system was impossible doesn't make it right for them to still come. Well, I don't think you can blame someone for going through a process which is impossible. If they don't have another option, then it isn't benefiting. So the last thing I want to say is you are incentivizing illegal immigration. If the legal immigration process is not working, and we have agreed that it is not working, then we are incentivizing people to illegally immigrate. We are promoting the idea that the rule of law should be broken. If we want to stop that, if we actually care about the rule of law, we need to make the rule of law make sense. We need to have rational, reasonable, fact-based policies. We can do that by promoting legal immigration, making legal immigration make sense.
Okay, thank you for pointing out facts, actually, because like I stated before, when Donald Trump became president, it's been what? He became president in end of January. It's now the beginning of June. He plummeted, the illegal immigration rate has plummeted by 70%, and that's just with the standard so-called broken laws that you've stated, that the laws that you say that are broken, Donald Trump has used those exact same laws. He just actually enforced them. The problem is we have so many illegal immigrants is because we fail to enforce the laws that we already have. If during the Obama administration, you can go up to the border and the fences, they're broken. People can get in so easily. If you ask Border Patrol, if you ask ICE, they stated that they weren't allowed to do their job during the Obama administration. And as I said before, when Donald Trump became president, illegal immigration plummeted by 70% with the so-called broken laws that we already have. And I'm not trying to encourage illegal immigration. This will actually encourage legal immigration by showing people, hey, we can't break the law. We actually have to follow the rules like everybody else has. The rules have been the same for the past 20, 30 years. A lot of people have done it the right way, my family included, have done it the right way. So I don't understand why it's so hard just to do illegally. We have laws. We have laws. Broken or not, we have laws and we need to abide by them.
If we have bad laws, we do not need to abide by bad laws. You wouldn't agree with something that Hitler did just because Hitler was doing it, just because it was a law. If there's a bad law, we fix the law. We don't blame the people. We fix the law. That is my solution. Now, you pointed out that Trump, in his time in office, has been able to stop 70% of immigration. Now, this is true. However, you are attributing this specifically to Trump, which is not necessarily the case. Did you know that since 2006, America has experienced a net loss in migration? More migrants have left the country than have come here. This is not an issue that is actually something where enforcement is going to do anything. The issue is the free market. If there are jobs, people come for the jobs. If there are not jobs, people leave because there are not jobs. So the solution is a free market system which allows people to choose legal immigration when legal immigration makes sense.
Okay, now since you want to talk about jobs, like I've stated before, mostly illegal mostly people say, oh, the illegal immigrants, they take the jobs that nobody wants. Well, again, like I said, if you want a job, you're going to keep it. You're going to want it no matter how bad the job is. Since you're talking about jobs, how about instead of giving the jobs to the people who decided to take a shortcut, who did it the wrong way? That's what I'm saying. Of course we need to punish illegal immigrants. The name is illegal. They came here the wrong way. It's that plain and simple. And give the jobs to American citizens who need jobs, like, for example, the veterans who are dying on the street just looking for a job. Or how about give it to the people who actually came here legally? And since you're talking about how the migration has slowed down, in the Obama administration, Obama wants to flood in the country with refugees, with illegal immigrations. He's been wanting to do that. You can tell during the presidential campaign when Donald Trump's been arguing that we need to stop illegal immigration, that we need to stop the refugee program, and that Democrat Hillary Clinton has pretty much wanted to do the same thing as Obama, where she wants to let the illegal immigrants in, where she wants to let all the refugees in. The main problem with illegal immigration is that, number one, they broke the law. So just by breaking the law itself, that already says you're giving someone a reward for breaking the law. And number two, we don't know who these people are. If they were documented, if they actually came here legally, they did all the papers and everything, we would know who they are and we would know who was coming into the country. It's that plain and simple. Just because you get a shortcut, that doesn't give you the right to break the law.
All right, so there are two things that I'm going to focus on what you just said there. The first one was that you pointed out that Obama wanted to flood us with immigration. That is not the case. Obama actually deported more people, immigrants, than we had seen by any president in history. Those are facts. Over 2 million were deported during Obama's time. The second thing you pointed out was that what you wanted was documentation. You want to know who these people are. I agree. I think that is the ultimate point about this debate. We both want to know who people are. We want to know who's here. The problem is the solution that you have offered has not worked. The solution that I am offering is that we incentivize legal immigration. This is not about punishing people. This is about incentivizing the market to work. We can do that by making legal immigration make sense, which it currently doesn't, because we have arbitrary quotas established by a federal government, which has randomly put numbers on how many people can come here. They are way behind in red tape and backlog. We need to simplify that process and provide a path to citizenship so that legal immigration will replace illegal immigration.
Okay, number one, like you said, my solution isn't working. Like I said before, Donald Trump has been using the same laws that have been in place since even before the Obama administration, and he's been able to do a lot of work with it, as I stated, with just the same rules and the same laws that have been. He didn't create any new ones. He's just been enforcing the laws that have been there. And also, I want to bring something up. Why don't these people apply for amnesty? They're not citizens, but they're not applying for residency, but it's for amnesty. They're going to be residents, so they are still gonna contribute to the free market, to society, to the jobs, like you have stated, but they just won't be citizens. It's technically a better shortcut, and they will be able to control it. Whereas just by illegal immigration, you're sucking up welfare, you're taking the jobs of people who actually want them.
All right, so I'm going to finish up with everything right here. You pointed out that Trump has succeeded. He hasn't really. All he's done is he's slowed migration from illegal immigrants over a few months. That was already the case during the Obama administration. That was already the case over the last 10 years. Very little Trump has done has had any impact. We still have problems with undocumented immigrants in the country. You have not proposed something that would solve that issue. I have. In order to solve the undocumented immigrants in the US, we need to make legal immigration make sense.
Okay, so my solution for the illegal immigrants that is already in the country is, number one, we got to take out the criminal illegal aliens first. We got to deport the criminal illegal aliens and actually keep them in the countries where they belong. Unlike the Obama administration, like for an example with Kate Steinle, I know it's beating a dead horse, but it still works. She was killed, shot in the head by an illegal immigrant, and that's not the point. The point is he was deported 5 different times. He was deported 5 different times, and he still managed to come back. So what we need to do is we need to take the criminal illegal aliens and then we need to take the illegal, criminal illegal aliens out, and then the people who haven't committed a crime other than coming here illegally, then we'll see what we do with them. But we honestly should just deport them all together, because either way they committed a